Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news about the latest ISIS terrorist threat, election news, a threat to Trump's son in New York, a warning to small businesses from the Kern County Fire Department, today's gas prices, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyo Kern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whittick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Our lead story for today deals with an update from last fall's attack by an ISIS-inspired young man at a California college. The FBI has reported that a teenager who injured 4 people in a stabbing spree on a California university campus before he was shot dead by police last year was inspired by the Islamic State militant group, but that he acted alone, the FBI said on Thursday. Faisal Muhammad, an 18-year-old freshman majoring in engineering and computer science, started his November 4th attack in a classroom at the University of California in Merced. He was slashing at victims with a hunting knife. The FBI said in a statement that Muhammad's laptop contained pro-ISIL propaganda and that he visited websites linked to the Islamic State as well as other extremist groups before the attack. The FBI said Muhammad was carrying a backpack that included a photocopy of the Islamic State flag and a 2-page handwritten note detailing his plans to take hostages as well as kill students and police. All evidence indicated, however, that he acted alone in the attack and that he had no ties with any foreign organizations or groups, according to the FBI. Originally, local authorities said at the time the attack seemed personal in nature, as the document listed a specific target he planned to attack for removing him from a study group. Muhammad intended to tie up students with plastic zip-tie handcuffs and wait for a police officer to enter by a door where petroleum jelly would be on the floor to make the entrance slippery. He said that he would plan on ambushing and stabbing the officer, steal a gun, and start shooting students. Local authorities said Muhammad was a dormitory resident at UC Merced, according to officials at the campus of some 6,600 students in California's Central Valley. He was from Santa Clara, 45 miles southeast of San Francisco. The attack sent 2 students, a university employee, and a construction worker to the hospital with stab wounds, though none of their injuries were life-threatening. So there we have another lone wolf ISIS-inspired attack right on our soil, and right here in California. Last night, Donald Trump's son, Eric, received a hoax letter attack. The Secret Service, FBI, and New York Police Department are investigating what sources report is a threatening piece of mail sent to Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump. Someone took out their frustrations via his 32-year-old son, Eric, who is said to have received a threatening letter Thursday in an envelope laced with a white powder, CBS News reports. A Trump Organization source confirmed to ABC News that the suspect mail was sent to Eric's ritzy 14th floor apartment in Trump Park East, located on Central Park South in New York City. The New York Police Department confirmed only that it responded to a call at the building around 7:15 p.m. and that no injuries were reported. The letter, which the New York Post says was opened by Eric's wife, Laura Ionescu, had a postmark from Massachusetts. It issued a warning that if Donald Trump doesn't cease his presidential run, harm would befall his kids. A source close to the probe tells CBS. White powder reportedly fell out of the envelope when Ionescu opened it, and a source says the powder has been sent out for lab testing, though a preliminary field test noted the unknown substance didn't appear to be dangerous. The New York PD wasn't taking any chances, though, with the New York Daily News reporting that members of the department's Emergency Services Unit were spotted at the scene around midnight hauling bright red bags with the word hazardous prominently displayed. Along with city police, the FBI and Secret Service are also said to be investigating the incident. No one was hurt in the event. There are further threats against Trump as well. An unidentified group is threatening to hack into all Trump's accounts online starting April 1st if Trump doesn't change his stance on deporting illegal aliens and stopping the influx of Syrian refugees. So it appears there are people on both sides of the aisle attacking Trump, except the millions of people that have already voted for him. Why talk about heat? Yet Trump is man enough and strong enough to brush off the threats and press on. And now opponents are bringing in attacks on his family. Whatever happened to the liberal mantra, everyone needs to become more tolerant and accept change? Well, how about you liberals becoming more tolerant of opposing views? Or does tolerance only apply when people say things you agree with? Well, in campaign news, there was supposed to be a Fox-hosted Republican debate on Monday, March 21st. This would have been right before the next election primaries. Well, Trump and Kasich announced they would not attend. This debate was supposed to be held in Salt Lake City, Utah. Trump says that after 12 debates, there have been enough. Kasich stated that he would show only if both Trump and Cruz showed. Cruz stated he wished they were having the debate. Trump is instead scheduled to speak at a Jewish event in Washington on Monday. Trump will be speaking at the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee conference in Washington, D.C. So there are no additional debates scheduled for now for the Republicans. For the Democrats, they have a debate scheduled for April, but no dates or locations have been announced. And as a side note, in almost all the Republican debates, Trump has been criticized for lack of details in his positions. And I'll admit that often during the debates, Trump sometimes just offers top-level information. But I had someone suggest to me to go look at his campaign website. Well, I took the time to actually look at his website where he has those specifics in writing. I found it an interesting read. Most of the time, campaigns are loaded with mischaracterizations from all candidates. But on the issue that Trump has no specifics, I suggest you take a few minutes and go look at his website and read his position statement. There's a lot of new information and details there. Informed voters need to dig deeper on our own to research the candidates. We can't depend on short TV commercial attacks or campaign ads that aren't always accurate. We can't even depend on news sources to provide all the information we need to make a decision on who to support. Trump attacks most of the media often for not accurate reporting. But another warning is to millennials. You also can't believe everything you read via the internet. Everything written on the internet is not always true, accurate, or appropriate. Internet information is only as accurate as the inputter wants it to be. So it is a real easy place to post totally wrong information. If you read it there, do more research and verify what you read with multiple sources. So we owe it to ourselves to do our own research. Make an informed decision. What's next, you may wonder? Well, next Tuesday, March 22nd, we have Republican elections in America's Samoa, Utah, and Arizona. There are 107 delegates available. For the Democrats, we have elections in Idaho, Utah, and Arizona. There are 131 delegates available to them. In news from the Kern County Fire Department, we get news of a scam that is targeting businesses. This is a fire inspection scam operating in Central and Southern California. There are reports of fraudulent fire inspections at businesses. Reports indicate that an individual will arrive unannounced at a commercial building, implying that they represent an enforcement agency or an insurance underwriter to perform an inspection at no charge to the tenant. Once the inspection is completed, the form is presented for endorsement and handed back to the business owner. A few days later, the inspection form, now with fees up to $500 and an attached corresponding invoice, arrives by mail for payment. It is also reported that some businesses will receive an invoice by mail that have not received an inspection for the service at all. So, the fire department provides these tips to keep your business from becoming a victim of this scam. Step 1. Educate your staff. This is your business and you have the right to refuse access to anyone you don't know. Step 2. Check credentials. Every fire department inspector has a uniform, badge, and county or city identification card. Request to see them or have staff request a scheduled inspection with the owner. Step 3. Report. If you are unsure about the validity of a safety inspector, contact the Kern County Fire Department Fire Prevention Code Enforcement Unit at 661-391-7080 or your law enforcement agency. So if you're a small business, be aware of this potential scam. Educate your employees to not let anyone come in unless you authorize the inspection. And if you do get approached for this, call police immediately so the perpetrator can be apprehended. In news from China Lake, we get news that the renovation of the Navy Exchange on base has been completed. The newly refinished store opened March 10th. It is located on the base. The next store offers retail goods and groceries for military families. It is now open ready to serve the residents on the base. And here's a happy story of the rescue of a dog lost at sea. 5 weeks ago, a 1-year-old German Shepherd Husky mix with startling blue eyes fell off a fishing boat in the Pacific Ocean north of San Diego. The dog, named Luna, was miles from land. She was reported missing on February 10th by her owner, fisherman Nick Hallworth. He told authorities that Luna was a strong swimmer and would head towards land, but the nearest shoreline was San Clemente Island, home to a U.S. Naval facility and about 2 miles from where the dog fell into the water. Sandy DeMonick, public affairs officer for the base, said staff helped Hallworth search the island for the dog, but with no luck. He stayed in the area for 2 more days to look for her, and after a week, we considered her lost at sea and presumed dead, DeMonick said. Crushed, Hallworth made peace with Luna's death, posting on Facebook, "Rest in peace, Luna. You will be greatly missed." Then on Tuesday morning, she reappeared. Luna turned up near the naval installation on the island as crew members were arriving for work. They saw Luna just sitting on the side of the road, wagging her tail, DeMonick said, according to ABC. Keep in mind, there are no domestic animals on the island, so it was a stunning sight. The officers may have been surprised to see a dog, but Luna wasn't fazed to see the officers. They literally opened up the car door, whistled, and she jumped right in, Navy wildlife biologist Melissa Booker told the San Diego Union Tribune. DeMonick's evaluation was the same. She told ABC that Luna was undernourished but in good health, adding that the dog had likely been surviving off mice for the past few weeks. Hallworth's friend picked up Luna on Wednesday, and she is scheduled to be reunited with Hallworth, a 20-year-old San Diego State student, when he returns from a trip on Thursday. Hallworth posted on Facebook, "Beyond stoked to have Luna back. I always knew she was a warrior." Well, that's a happy story. Now some Kern County Supervisor meeting news. I want to report that KZGN-TV is now broadcasting the Supervisor meetings live Tuesday mornings. This is the first time people here in the Valley have been able to see the Supervisor meeting live over the air and on Mediacom cable. The only other way to see their meetings here was online or at the Kern County offices on China Lake Boulevard. Anyway, the supervisors have the desire to increase their transparency. So we here at KZGN were approached by the Kern County media staff to carry the meetings. We agreed to do that. They have helped us set up the necessary equipment to broadcast it here. So our plan is to broadcast their meetings live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So tell your friends and neighbors, even those that only have satellite TV. Let them know that if they just put up a little outside antenna for their TV, they would be able to easily switch their TV over to watch KZN's 3 TV channels when they want to. KZN-TV Ridgecrest is now carrying the Board of Supervisors meetings every Tuesday morning. KZGN-TV is live over the air on channels 21.1, 21.2, and 21.3. KZGN-TV is also on Mediacom cable channels 21, 322, 323, and 521. And KZGN is the place to see the live Kern County Supervisors regular meetings every Tuesday morning, when they have the meeting, of course. In local club news, the Democrat Club of the High Desert has announced that they'll hold their regular meeting Saturday, March 19th. It'll be at the Clarion Inn at noon. The speaker will be Kern County Supervisor Mick Gleason. Currently, Mick is the chairman of the board. The public is invited to attend for free. However, you may also order lunch during the event if you want to. Now in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. Well, since my last report on Wednesday, local prices jumped another 6 cents per gallon. Even watching the LA news, they too are reporting the same surge in prices down there. However, we still have the lowest prices in all the areas we are monitoring. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $2.43 to $2.89, Lancaster from $2.55 to $2.89, the LA Valley area $2.53 to $2.79, and the Bishop area $2.60 to $2.99. We have 3 stations at $2.43 per gallon. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have weather and sports. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, a storm system moving through the upper Midwest will bring strong winds to the Midwest, along with heavy snow to portions of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the upper portion of Michigan. Winter storm warnings are in effect for parts of these states. High wind warnings and wind advisories are in effect for other parts of the Midwest. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 68, Georgia at 72, Arkansas at 65, northern Texas at 47, Arizona at 76, and Los Angeles at 63. And for us locally, tonight, mostly clear with a low around 48, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 83, south-southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 48, west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny with a high near 83, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 50, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 76, west wind 5 miles per hour. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 48, west wind 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 68, west wind 15 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
Thanks, Lane. And now here's Tom Heck with sports.
Very pleasant Friday. The NCAA tournament is going on big time right now. If you're a basketball fan, you are almost in heaven right now. Some kind of surprises on Thursday, looking back. Providence beat USC 70-69. They did that in the last 2 seconds of the game on an inbound pass underneath the basket. A layup, if you can believe it. USC led most of that game. That's a heartbreaker for the Trojans. That was their first tournament in the past 6 years. Syracuse gets a win. They beat Dayton. A little bit easier than I thought. Arizona, though. Arizona just didn't come to play. Wichita State led the whole game. They led big most of the game. They end up winning by 10 points to knock Arizona out. Tough day for the Pac-12 yesterday. Colorado went down. SC went down. Arizona went down. Oregon State also goes down early Friday. They lose to Virginia Commonwealth University. Villanova easy over their opponent from North Carolina, Wilmington. Arkansas Little Rock beats Purdue. That was an upset in double overtime. Arkansas Little Rock, though, much better than people really give them credit for. They only lost 4 games all season long. Other winners were Gonzaga, Kentucky, Wichita State, and Utah. Let's talk about Syracuse baseball. Tomorrow on Saturday, they will take on Chaffee down in Rancho Cucamonga. Yesterday, they had a tough loss, a final score in that game 9-8. Coso put up 4 runs in the 9th inning to make it very interesting. Some very good performances from Biggie Hernandez. Also, Jeremiah Johnson, both of those guys Burroughs graduates. And on Saturday, we'll have James Pooley on the mound. He is a graduate of Burroughs High School also. Saturday's game will start at 12 noon, and that'll be on KLOA 1240, also SyracuseBaseball.club. In yesterday's game, Syracuse got off to a good start. They led 3-0. They led 4-2, and only to see Chaffee come back and with a couple of big hits and a few other things, the Panthers went up 9-4. The Coyotes made it a lot of interesting, at bats in the 9th inning. Actually had the tying run at second base and was a buck short at 9-8. The Coyotes now 4-4 in the league, 12-7 overall. They're in a very good chance for a playoff spot, their best opportunity in a long, long time this year. Coach Scott doing a great job with that baseball program. That's your sports for this Friday. I'm Tom Heck. Have a good weekend for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. And remember, join us Tuesday mornings for the Kern County Supervisor meetings at 9 a.m. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.